Not even street gangs have this many rules when it comes to motorcycle clubs. Not even street gangs. Actually, street gangs, it's don't be a rat, make your money, earn your respect. That's it. Nothing else. With MCs over the last, I have to say, 10 years, and actually coincides with how long this biker tenure has been going on as far as MCs are concerned. Rules have now gotten into the hundreds. You know, I had a funny meme where Jesus Christ himself joined a motorcycle club, and then in the middle of the thing, you know, I only have 10 rules. Then a biker comes on and says, God himself only has 10 rules. Why the hell does motorcycle clubs have hundreds? And I'm going to tell you the complete truth of why. You got to love the invention of AI, man. I'm a big fan of AI. You know, you to do graphics that you would spend in the old days hundreds of dollars for in a couple seconds. But get into this MC protocol stuff, and I'm not talking about one channel or another, not sending subliminal messages against one channel or another. I'm just going to talk the truth here, man, with you guys, especially now. You have AI channels, faceless ones, covering MC protocol and biker news. Go figure, right? MC protocol. It wasn't a heard of thing years ago. It was you had common sense. You were a man. You did what you had to do. Actually, there was 3 rules. And there also happened to be the 3 rules that get your ass kicked out of a club. Don't sleep with somebody's wife, old lady, whatever. Don't do it. It was stupid. You don't want to do that. You can't trust somebody like that. Don't do the needle. You really can't trust somebody with a needle, especially if you're doing dirt with somebody. Never going to work out in your favor. And don't steal. That was it. There's your MC protocol. But now, with the advent of social media, especially the chance for everybody to get a mic in their hand, all of a sudden, all these damn rules started popping up. You know, I was actually out with a couple club guys yesterday, and we talked about this. And I looked at them and I said, what's half of this stuff have to deal with the club you're in? And they laughed. They said, you know what? That's just a bunch of made up bullshit that has no bearing on what we do as a club, and half the stuff they talk about, they're full of shit. So a lot of club members look at it as a joke, but the problem with it is these channels reach people that are not in the clubs, have no understanding of clubs, and then they start buying into this bullshit that's being preached by these channels and these people. And if you actually look at it, you know, some of them, you know, maybe a year, 2 years, we're in clubs. Dude, you're not even half done with your prospect period at that point to be given this so-called MC protocol advice because you haven't seen nothing. And what's more concerning about the scene is you do have people that actually listen to this crap, go into the club, and years later, it's all of a sudden a frickin' rule. And you wonder why bylaws went from 3 main things to over 100. Because some of these people just make it up out of their ass. They pull it out of their ass, these rules. And somebody has to say something about that. Because if you truly believe in helping clubs out, then you wouldn't start spreading bullshit that everybody on the street knows is fake. Like I said, there's 100 different freaking rules out there, probably in the thousands by now. Hell, I seen this one channel. They were in their vests talking about protocol. You know, I was one of the original ones that came out. So what the hell you doing showing your colors on the freaking internet? You know, it just helps cops do your, do the work on your ass to validate you. But I guess I'm too old school, and that's a thing now. Everybody wears it on there. But hey, so be it. What it is, and it is. But they're sitting on there with their colors talking about MC protocol. And I was like, dude, you're pulling that out of your ass. That can't even be happening in your region. And yes, it's a regional deal. As far as history, some people need to learn freaking history, man. They really do, because they'll combine history with MC protocol, and their history is totally freaking off. You know, some of the beefs and the wars, or the type of clubs that came to a certain spot, that was all horse shit too. Why? Because they weren't around, or probably weren't even born when any of the stuff was happening. So with biker news, the reason why I got into that, it's actually happening on the streets. And yeah, we do biker news in a different fashion, where we're not going to sit there and, be on the side of clubs all the time when they do something stupid. When something happens to them that's not in their, realm of responsibility, then we go after them, especially with cops and the law and stuff. But when somebody does something stupid, you have to say it, or you have no credibility with your audience. None whatsoever. But as far as when these channels go after some of us that do biker news, dude, what you guys are doing is way worse, because you're pulling shit out of your ass and you're making stuff up, and it's coming out of your own little pea brain that this is the way MC protocol should be. It ain't. Again, there is 3 things: needles, not sleeping with an old lady, and stealing cash. Everything other than that is just being a man. That's it. Being a man. Living the life the way it's supposed to be lived. That's all it is. This isn't rocket science, where you have to read stories on how you should act in one situation or another. Because if that's the case, what the hell are you even doing? Why are you even involved if that's something you have to do, is take advice from somebody on the internet writing a story or telling you how things should be done? You shouldn't be involved anyway. That kind of stuff is learned in the clubs themselves. One of the biggest reasons why I've always been against internet recruiting for MCs. You know, I'm not talking writing clubs or that's nothing with, like I did with that one video, freedom or commitment. Yeah, you got freedom because you don't got no commitment in RCs. But with MCs, you're supposed to have that commitment. So I was never, for all that recruiting with MCs. Now it's changed, all that good stuff. And maybe I see why it's changing. Because now you got a whole sea of believers that think this is the way clubs should be, because a few influencers say that's the way it is, when it really isn't. But I did, when I was out with them, I had a freaking laugh, man, because everybody was laughing at it. Everybody. So for those that are interested in MCs, here's my suggestion. Go up to them personally, like it used to be. Bypass the internet stuff. Or if you have to use the internet, just looking for an open house, man. We're going to be advertising anybody's stuff pretty soon here of events going on. Go up to them, be a man, get to know them. Don't ask them, how do I join, when you first go up to them. Because it pisses them off, actually, if you don't know, because they don't know who the hell you are. But go up, introduce yourself, have a few beers, party, get invited to the next one, party, get invested, hang around. Don't ask how to freaking join. Get to know your guys, and they're going to come to you eventually. Then you can ask. None of this MC protocol bullshit. It's just being straight up with you. None of that crap. You will learn from the guys in the club. And once you get in the club, you're going to see, you're going to come back, look at this video and say, you know what? He was right, man. Half that stuff on the internet's all bullshit. And you know what? I don't care what your hustle is. I really don't. More power to you. Go get rich doing it. But don't say I'm only supporting, I only want to talk nice about clubs. Because you're making cash by talking about a bunch of lying bullshit. That is what's going on. So be honest about it. You're hustling. Hey, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Making your money. Now you gotta, and the ones you gotta really watch out for are these faceless AI biker protocol channels. You gotta watch out for them. Or if you're watching another one with a live person, ask them, well, what the hell is your experience? How long have you been around? Just saying. But the lying ain't gonna help the MC world with all the different rules that come out of your pea brains. Anyway, don't forget, I got a couple new music things going on. Go check out Outlaw Paul over on YouTube, as well as Insane Throttle. There is the special appearance by the Titty Tat. Anyway, catch you guys later. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Rock on.
Now I'm back in